The BMI index, bodybuilding, and obesity.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Every Damn Day Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell, share my videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I wanted to talk a little bit because I hear these arguments all the time. I hear the arguments all the time that the BMI index is a horrible measure of wellness. That, well, what about the bodybuilders on stage? That's unfit too. And obesity, like, well, you can be healthy at any size. Obesity doesn't matter. All ridiculous. So, first of all, the BMI index. The BMI index is an absolutely horrible measure of wellness. It is so rudimentary, it bothers me. It doesn't take into factor age. It doesn't take into factor heritage, bone structure. It doesn't take into factor the length of the clavicle. It doesn't take into factor the person's body fat. It doesn't take into factor the person's age. It doesn't take into any of these factors. It really, really doesn't. It is extremely rudimentary. And just because it produces you a BMI of over an X amount does not technically mean you are unhealthy. I get it all the time. Like, well, you're obese by the BMI. No, I'm not. I'm just overweight by the BMI. I used to be, morbidly obese, I believe, by the BMI index, or I was very, very obese by it. Morbidly obese is anything at 40 or over. But let's agree on this: that it does not matter. It does not matter what type of shape you're in. If you are 5 feet tall and weigh over 205 pounds, if your BMI is over 40, you are morbidly obese. You are unhealthy, period. Your heart is not made to pump that much fluid. It is just not. It's not made to pump that much blood. Your system is not made to support that much weight. Your joints are unhealthy. Unless you are a true 0.0000001 genetic outlier, and that's just a guess, but I just yanked that out of my ass. But unless you are a true just genetic outlier, if you're 5 feet tall and 205 pounds or more, you are morbidly obese. You are not going to live your full life potential, and you're probably leading a pretty miserable life to begin with. If you are, 5'4", as Tess Holliday is, and you are above 240 some pounds, you are morbidly obese. You are shortening your life. Period. You're above 40 on the BMI scale. We're not talking about people that just get measured as overweight when they're not. We're not talking about athletes who work out every day and distance runners and things like that, who take care of themselves, who carry a larger than average muscular frame. We're not talking about those. We're not even talking about people that just have a larger bone structure than most people of their same height, the average of their same height. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about if you are obese, if you are morbidly obese with a BMI of over 40, it is a pretty damn good indicator once you get it to be over 40. If you're 5 feet 10 and you weigh above 278 pounds or 279 pounds, whatever this chart actually says, you are morbidly obese. Your body is not made to carry that much weight. If you're 6 feet tall and weigh over 295 pounds, you are morbidly obese. You are not going to live as long as you are. And it does not matter if you are a bodybuilder and 295 pounds and 6 feet tall. It simply does not matter, because very fucking frankly, you are taxing your system just as much as a person that is fat. To be real, and this is the truth, a 295 pound person at 6 feet tall that has at 10% body fat is actually taxing their heart more than a 295 person that is fat, that is obese fat-wise, that is a 50% body fat. The reason being is muscle has a higher cardiac load than fat does. It has more capillaries, more veins, that sort of thing. It has more of a cardiac load than fat does. So technically your heart is working even harder. And I know you're going to say, well, I got this weight because I'm an athlete. But if you're 6 feet tall and 295 pounds, chances are you are really either carrying some extra weight. And if you're 295 pounds on stage at a bodybuilding contest, trust on this, you've done something to alter your workouts, let's say, your nutrition, let's say, your supplements, shall we say, to get there. That is not healthy either. The point is valid. The point is valid that a bodybuilder on stage that is 290 pounds or 300 pounds, that is morbid obesity also, and that is absolutely true, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It does not change the fact that while there are, that is morbidly obese too, there are not 100 million morbidly obese bodybuilders, not 100 million mass monsters walking around the United States, being 300 pounds at 10% body fat or less. That's just not true. That does not simply happen. That's a very small, minute thing that takes serious effort and a lot of money in supplements to get there. The problem is there are 100 million obese people in America. There are 100 million people that are eating themselves to death in America. That is the actual issue. The problem when people try to convolute the argument by saying that the BMI is not a good measure of index, you're right. But when it's over 40, you're morbidly obese. You're going to die young and miserable. That's just true. I mean, statistically speaking, you are going to develop one of the variety of issues that happen with morbid obesity that you are at a much larger risk of getting. You're at a much larger risk of getting cancer, a much larger risk of getting type 2 diabetes, a much larger risk of having joint issues, osteoarthritis, all sorts of things, hardening of the arteries. Cardiovascular disease is more prevalent in obese people than any other sector of the freaking population. So people, when you state these arguments, let's not try to underplay what it actually is. Yes, the BMI index is a horrible measure. But if you're over 40 on the BMI index, you're going to die young. And that's just my 2 cents no matter. My name's Alan Roberts. This is Everyday Day Fitness. Hit me up on Instagram at Everyday Day Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Everyday Fit. I'm also on Facebook at Everyday Fitness. I'm on the internet at everydaydayfitness.net, where facts actually live and you can't just wipe stuff away, dumbasses. God damn.